Hi everybody, and welcome back to the studio. It's another quiet night, so we're in the studio, we're painting, and tonight we got something really special tonight. So as you can see, I don't have a canvas here, I have a skateboard, and we're going to be doing another skateboard-scape. Not only that, this is a black canvas, so you know that I'm going to be painting my favorite thing to paint in the world, which is the Aurora. So to tell you how I got to this point, what we did is we took a skateboard and we sanded down the original finish over here until we got down to the bare wood, and then I just covered it with acrylic black paint, and then I covered it with my transparent paints. We got Pthalo Blue, and we got some alizarin crimson, we got Pthalo Blue all throughout. And so this is going to be my personal ride. This is not going to be for sale anywhere, but this is strictly for me. So this is how I paint something for myself. So with all those transparent colors on the board, I'm just going to go into some titanium white. And as usual, all your paints are going to show up at the bottom of your screen as if by magic right now. And we're just going to tap. And what's going to happen is, as we sort of go through, our white paint is going to pick up the color of the transparent paint. And we're just going to keep going and going and going. We're going to get our beautiful sort of waves of the Aurora. Each time I'm just sort of dusting off my brush on my pants. You can use your easel, that's probably a little bit smarter. Nobody ever claimed I was a genius. And just sort of make some bands. So this is sort of going to go off. Okay. And with the same brush, as long as you dusted it off nicely on your clothes or on your easel, you're going to come through and pick them up just a bit. This is going to be really beautiful when you're done. I fully intend on riding this skateboard everywhere I go and making sure everybody can see the artwork on it. And then I'm going to tell them that I painted this. And if you want something painted, I can do that for you. Because this is going to be the most beautiful skateboard you've ever seen. And I completely believe that. And if you're doing the same thing in your house, I believe that your skateboard is going to be even better than this one. Let's just pick it up. Pick up all the color. Pick it up, pull it. And then with your brush, go through the whole thing. No mistakes. But just make it sort of glow. Make it glow. When you're doing these Aurora paintings, really this up pull is your control on the light. If you want it brighter, you just pull it more with more white. And if you want it dimmer, you don't pull so much. You got total control in this. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to whip up some dark colors. And that's just basically going to be the Pthalo Blue, Prussian Blue, the Midnight Black, alizarin crimson. Just mix them up, pull it down, cut off a little roll, and then let's figure out some mountains. Now with a skateboard, you don't have as much space vertically, so really keep that in mind when you're doing this. Because you'll run out of space going up and down really fast. You really got to think about a skateboard as being a panoramic. Because the amount of space you're afforded is not very much up and down. So don't go too deep. Don't go too low. It's definitely a panoramic view of the skateboards. It's a really cool, sharp peak. Don't be afraid to make your mountains different shapes and sizes. Don't do just the triangle. And if you can't do that, just dollop it on with the knife. On the board, the trucks are going to go where the holes are. So you gotta keep that also in mind too. It's a little bit more challenging to paint on a skateboard than it is just to paint in, on a flat canvas where you don't have such weird things happening. I want to make this mountain just taller for that exact reason. But the only thing you're concerned about is the top of the mountain. It's the same as when we're painting on canvas. It's the exact same. The top line of the mountain is the most important. Everything else that happens below it is unimportant. Look at this. I don't care. Take one of your brushes, lay down the mountains. Pull it straight, get rid of your excess paint. This is excess paint you don't need to see. Lay it out. Really, this is the weirdest thing in that this part of the video doesn't show up nearly as well on camera as the other things. But I can tell you with my own eyes that I can see what I'm talking about. You guys might not be able to see this as well as I do. But trust me, when you do this by yourself and you pick up the paint and you pull it, you will see the mountain laying out in front of you. And it's a really important step because it informs the next step that we do, which is of course putting snow on the mountains. So for me, that looks done. Now, when I usually do a mountain, I like to put a little bit of color into the snow, but not so much for these Aurora ones. I think the black on white is absolutely striking, so I just basically go into pure white. That is my highlight color. I just pull it out and I decide where the light's coming from. and I follow those exact brush strokes that I laid down just a few minutes before, and it's just so amazing that you get this beautiful contrast. Like, this is why I really like doing these Aurora-scapes, because it's just so incredibly beautiful. This is why I love painting, because it works. And if it works for me, it's going to work for you, because it worked that way for basically everybody who picked up a brush and learned how to paint like this. Anybody can do this. But, like, I really enjoy it. But you can do this. There's no magic here. I mean, it's magic, but it's magic that anybody has access to. And I'm just following those brush strokes that we did the first time that I said that you guys got to spend more time on those brush strokes at the very, very beginning. Isn't that beautiful? That's absolutely perfect. And then all we do, we take a little phthalo blue into the white, mix it up, possibly a little Prussian in there, a little more Prussian maybe. Yeah. Even more. I don't like my shadows to be as bright as other people. I don't know what that says about me, but sounds good, but I want it darker. I'm going to add some black. But follow your brush strokes the way you did in the first time. Let those things mix up. Then I'm going to go back into the white. I'm just going to really let the white take over in a few places. You can play with this stuff. Like, it shouldn't be chore, and it shouldn't be a difficult thing to do either. But I'm just going to go through and just make sure I'm getting things the way I want them to look. Because, like I said at the beginning of the video, this is my personal ride. This is a skateboard I'm going to be taking out when I go out. And and I want everybody to see it and just be really impressed by it. So I'm going to take that little extra time just to make sure, look, this mountain and this mountain are kind of separate. Now this mountain's in front of that mountain. Not bad. Alright. With a clean brush, really clean brush, we're going to start tapping down. I'm going to tap actually light. Actually, I might even support this with my hand. Because I have my skateboard rigged into my easel just a little bit different way. But just with the corner of the brush. I'm going to sort of fade out the bottoms of these mountains. If I don't go easy, it's going to pop out like that. Fade a lot of this into nothing. Very gently go back up into the mountain. Take out the brush strokes. Make it soft, delicate, like snow. Second pass is always okay. But basically how you do a whole range of mountains across the Aurora. Now, we're going to add a really distant tree line. So, I'm going to go into that dark stuff that we used to make the mountains. And we think sort of a bowl shape here. It's kind of nice. Let's accentuate that. Remember, like, this is a the fact that it's a panoramic view means you might get limited in what you can see in the foreground, possibly. Not bad. Take a clean brush. makes basically automatic reflections. Sorry if the skateboard's jumping around. I'll try not to let that happen too much. And then just onto the bare bristles of your favorite fan brush, just sort of it up where the water is. Without this white line, and by the way, we're pulling up. Without this white line, you're not going to really see or understand where the water line actually is. It sort of helps make you see the different trees that are across on the water. Cut in a water line, a really thin, small water line. Not bad. I feel like doing some land destruction. I'm going to take out this mountain. So I don't want to, when I'm going to go crazy, I'm going to go to the edge of the mountain and just cut it out with my knife. That's okay. To be fair, the mountain is still there. You can actually kind of see it's still kind of there in like ghost form. But I want some trees. And if I try to paint over that mountain, my trees aren't going to work very well. That's just the sad reality of oil painting sometimes. We're going to do push-up trees. Push-up trees are the same as our normal trees, except you push up, and that means that they're stronger. Because push-ups make you stronger. And actually, you'll see when we're done that that mountain that we took out is actually basically still going to be there. Even in painting, it's really hard to take out a majestic mountain. You can only try so much. I want to do the same thing over here. So, same thing. Start from the mountain you want to destroy. Start from that edge and just pull it down. I'm not destroying anything. The cool thing is that the color actually still remains on the board or on the canvas or whatever, and you'll still get the feeling that the mountain is there even though you took out 80%, 90% of the paint that made up that mountain. tree. There's another tree. Let's highlight these trees. To highlight them, take Pthalo Blue, white. Pthalo Blue and white, that's basically it. Let's just start tapping in the highlights. Pushing up. Start with the back one first. As you get to the bottom, the paint will start to get darker. That's basically exactly what you want. Something like that. You go from the bottom of your tree, put in some snow just by pulling, same highlight color. You didn't work for that, nobody told you to do that. Same thing over on this side. Not bad. Let's put in a few little finishing touches just to take this guy home. So we have a big lake. The nicest thing to put in that lake might be a few ripples. That's not too bad. Another thing to add to our lake might be the tiniest little bit of some birch trees. So I'm just mixing up just a little bit of brush cleaner with the alizarin crimson, with the titanium white. Sorry. Just pick a place. I commit and I just sort of pull down. And the interesting thing with these birch trees, when you put in just one or so, it doesn't look really good. That's the reality of it. But if you put in watts, the more you put in, the more they start to look like they belong there. And it kind of makes sense. I mean, like, you got just one tree and it just looks different than all the other ones. But when a few more start to show up, and they're all just kind of the same, then they start to look more like they belong. They do a really good job of making these colder places look exceptionally cold. That's actually why I really like to add them. One more. So maybe I might spend a little more time on him. And then finally, with the fan brush, just go right back into your dark color. And anywhere where you have those trees, those little white ones we just did, fix them up. Push up some dark grass. If you are not in the winter, dark grass will still grow at the bottom of a tree. The tree sort of protects it from a lot of different things that would otherwise kill it. So the reality is there's going to be some grass under those trees. And just one more thing to do. These background trees. Just maybe pick one or two. Just give it just a little more detail. Just a little bit more. Brush. And I think that's everything for today. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching me paint the Aurora on a skateboard. I hope you get a chance to try doing this for yourselves. And thank you very much for supporting me and my artwork. I'll see you guys around. Bye. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it,
please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. It really helps the studio grow and helps me make these videos for you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Bye.